Hey, good afternoon. I went to the flea market this morning and I picked up some stuff. And without further ado, we'll get right into it. I'll show you what I got. So this set here is by Keystone and out of Buffalo, New York, which is about 2 hours and 20 minutes west of me. It's got all the original bits. This 12-point bit may not be original, but it's similar, very similar in design. So this will all be cleaned up and redone, and obviously it's got the case with it. Nice little set. And I got a pair of these bolt cutters. I have the smaller set already that I've cleaned up. These are in pretty decent shape. Jaws are okay, there's no major chunks missing. So there's that. I got this machinist vise. Now, I don't know if this is a Stanley, but it's stamped #1. And I haven't really looked at it that hard. I got a really good price on it. And I almost want to say it's a Stanley, but it's got a nice steel handle. Now that I have that sander, I'm able to do a lot more fine tuning on my metal work. So that handle I'll clean up real nicely. The vise does work great. No issues. And these vices are really handy. So it's got some weight to it for sure. So that was a good score. These ratchets were $2, basically $1 a piece. This one here, I gotta clean up a little bit to see the maker mark, but I can't tell offhand. Right after I'm done with this video, I'll clean this up and have a better look at it. But this one here is a Wizard, and I might already have this ratchet, but it's obviously a 1/2-inch drive. It's stamped Western Auto on the front. And I have a thing for ratchets. I have over 100 of them. That is over 100 good ones. Not counting my Chinese and whatnot pieces. So anyways, moving right along. These Allen keys are really nice. I like this style with the handle. These are from Chesco, USA made. This is a metric set. Well, it might be a partial set, I'm not sure. But it's 6 mil down to 2.5 mil. And I'm sure they'll clean up nicely. There's a little bit of surface rust on the steel, but no biggie. Bernard Pliers, patent July 19th, 1899, 1892. Yeah, this is a bigger set. I have about 10 different Bernard Pliers. This one has some pitting. It's going to need some metal work, but now that I have that sander really helps. And I've used it a few times since getting it, and I'm really happy with it. Just kind of opens up way more possibilities when, you know, working with your tools as far as cleaning up metal. So for the $40 I spent, I'd say it was well worth it. And I would imagine that if I ever burn the motor out on that sander, I would try to cobble in one of my spare bigger motors. Not sure if that would work or not, but I would try. Padlock. This was thrown in on one of the deals. That's a Victory. It's got the eagle and a little bit of a logo on the front. It's kind of a curved hinge design. It doesn't have a key, but I have a bunch of old style keys that I recently got, and I'm going to see if I can find one that would work with this, and clean this thing up on the sander and see what I can do with it. I don't have a lot of locks. I have a few. Nothing that great. Anytime I've come across locks, they tend to want 10, 15 bucks or whatever, you know. Another one of these curved wrenches. This is the 8-inch, number 78. Westcott, Keystone. I just like the style of these curved wrenches. And if I see them cheap, I'll grab one. These were $1. They're snap-on, older snap-on. You can always tell when you're looking at old tools if they're rusty or whatnot, and you can't make out any markings on them. This bubble pattern on the handles was common, and you can identify that. And some will have one strip of bubbles, and some will have multiple. But that's Snap-on's deal there. Those little bubbles. You can see on the handle there the old Snap-on logo. 95 USA. This is a Starrett piece. It's for my Starrett stash. I'm slowly acquiring the motherload of Starrett pieces, and at this point I probably have a shoebox full of all different kinds of machining tools, Starrett brand, punches, whatnot. So when I get enough, I'll list it for a little chunk of money and probably sell them. I don't do a lot of machining. So. And this is just an old Snap-on, I believe it's a number 2 Phillips, and it's longer. It's probably 14 inches. And I pick these up, these older Snap-on pieces I pick up, yep, number 2. I pick them up when they're cheap, and I have a huge collection of the black handled, the red handled especially, Snap-on drivers. So, not bad. Alright. So, this is the Snap-on quick type torque wrench. It's in amazing condition. Let's see if I can get it out. It's a half-inch drive. Spin that up there. It does have a bit of a swivel head. It's a small radius, but so this thing was cheap, really cheap. So I grabbed it. Not sure, this might be an item that I list. I don't usually sell a lot of my stuff, as I've said, but all right, I got a couple more things here. You know, one of the most mainly used tools in the garage here is the angle grinder. This is a German-made Metabo, and it was really cheap. It does run. I'm going to replace the power cord. This one here is, you know, seen better days, but it's a very smooth running machine. It's got the handle on off there. These always fail, these buttons. I can't stand them. So I've never used a Metabo, so hopefully this holds up. So not bad. So I have a collection of these older drills. Got a thing for them. This is the Thor copper line. I don't know if it had some kind of copper plating or whatnot. Obviously, it's not like a solid copper housing or anything, but anyways, it's cool enough. I definitely like it. Light duty CJ4 independent pneumatic tool. On off switch right here. And it's got the small 1/4 inch Jacobs chuck on it. Brushes there. Cord's older, but it's not cracked. Stress relief's in good shape, so this will clean up. This will be a pretty easy project, cleaning this up. Very cool. Kind of wish they had a trigger button, but I don't really use these anyways. I just kind of hold on to them. So there's that. 2 more pieces. 2 more. Oh man. Man, my makeshift TV table. So this is in full disclosure, this is a flat screen TV here. I'm using this as a table because my benches are just covered. So, trying to clear up a little spot here. Show you this. There we go. It's a grinder. Deihl. May not be pronouncing that right, but it's AC motor, Singer manufacturer Corp, 1/4 horse, 3450 RPM, it's 4.5 amp. Yeah, grinder runs great. I tested it. It's got this older white cord that's in great shape, but I figure it's heavier than hell. I figure it'll be a nice project to clean up. And I can't get enough of these grinders. If I find them, I pick them up, the USA made ones. So that'll be good to get this thing out of here. It's unbelievably heavy for it's not even that big, it's just heavy. Alrighty. Okay, last piece. Oh. It's a Black & Decker drill, 3/4 inch. Lift it up. Oh my god, this thing is ridiculous. Sorry about that. Old Black & Decker 3/4 inch drill, heavy duty. This thing is the size of a lampshade. It's huge. It's got a nice big old Jacobs chuck. This is get the model number. It's a 36. Jacobs number 36, 3/16 through 3/4. And it's just a massive drill. Oh man. It's got a huge handle, metal trigger. This is only my second 3/4 inch drill. I have a Powercraft, but it was cheap. I'm going to clean it up. I think at one point it must have had a handle up here. I'm going to see if I have a spare in my stash. to replace it. Take it apart, clean it all up. It does run great. Yeah, this thing is a beast. I can't imagine being the guy that had to use this all day, but this is the old Black & Decker, USA made. This piece is 7.5 amps, 600 RPM, AC/DC. Unbelievable. And you just don't come across 3/4 inch drills that often, so you know I had to grab it. I like these big chucks too. So that's the haul. I got about an hour before work here, and I just wanted to show you what I got. I wanted to do a video this morning when I got home, but I had to get some sleep. So yeah, that's it. I'm gonna do a little cleanup here before work, and Bob's your auntie. Appreciate you guys as always. Have a great night.